Hey everyone, and welcome. Today we're going to dive into a concept that might sound a little old school, but is actually an incredibly practical guide for life right now. It's called taking refuge. And using the ancient Yogacara Bhumi Shastra as our guide, we're going to see how this is so much more than a ceremony. It's a powerful, step-by-step path to real transformation. So let's get into it.
So, when you hear that phrase, taking refuge, what's the first thing that pops into your head? For a lot of people, it probably sounds like some formal ritual, maybe a one-time declaration you make. But what if I told you the classic texts see it as something way more alive, way more dynamic? Not just a single event, but a continuous active practice that literally shapes how you live your life every single day. Okay, so at its heart, taking refuge means you're committing to the three jewels. You've got the Buddha, the teacher, the Dharma, the teachings, and the Sangha, the community of practitioners. But here's the key takeaway from our source text, and this is really important. It's not defined by just saying a vow. True refuge is found in 8 very specific actions. It's all about what you do.
So where does the path begin? Well, it starts by laying the right groundwork. You can't build a strong house on a shaky foundation, right? These first 4 practices are all about prepping your mind and creating the right internal conditions you need for any real spiritual growth to happen.
So these are the first 4 foundational practices. And just look at the flow here. It makes so much sense. It starts with who you hang out with, then moves to what you're learning, then how you internalize it, and finally how you put it all into action. It's this beautiful, clear path from outside influence to deep inner change. Let's break each one down.
The very first step, 听进善识, is all about your environment, your people. It means you consciously choose to surround yourself with wise teachers and supportive friends who actually inspire you, who embody the very qualities you want to cultivate in yourself. It's a recognition that who we spend our time with really shapes our journey. Next up, 听闻正法, or listening to the true Dharma. And this isn't just, passively hearing something. It's about active study. It's about building a clear, accurate map of the path in your mind. Because let's be honest, without the right knowledge, our practice can get off track pretty easily. This step is like getting the blueprint before you start building. Now, step 3, 如理作意, is where we shift from just head knowledge to real heart wisdom. This is crucial. It's about taking everything you've learned and truly mulling it over, connecting those teachings to your own life, your own experiences. This is the moment where abstract ideas start to click and become powerful personal insights. And the final piece of this foundation, 法随法行, is where the rubber meets the road. This is it. It means taking those insights you've had and actually putting them into practice, making sure your actions, your words, and even your thoughts are all lining up with the Dharma. This step closes the loop and turns understanding into your lived reality. Okay, so once that solid foundation is in place, the path doesn't just stop there. Of course not. These next 4 steps are all about taking that internal work you've done and skillfully weaving it into your day-to-day life, into every interaction you have with the world. All right, here's the second set. Keep your senses restrained, accept and learn the precepts, have compassion for all beings, and diligently make offerings. If that first set of practices was about building a powerful engine, this second set is about learning how to actually drive the car out in the real world, in traffic and everything. Let's see what these look like in action. So the 5th practice, 住根不掉, is all about mindfulness of your senses. In a world that is just constantly screaming for our attention, this practice teaches us how to manage what we take in through our eyes, our ears, and all our other senses. It's not about shutting the world out. It's about finding and maintaining your inner balance and focus right in the middle of all the chaos. Next, we have Sushya Shuktru, which is really about ethics. It means you willingly take on and practice certain guidelines. Simple but profound things like not harming, not stealing, not speaking dishonestly. These create a safe and supportive container for your own spiritual growth. And this ethical conduct doesn't just benefit you, it benefits everyone around you too. The 7th practice, 批命有情, is where we really turn our focus outward. After building that strong inner foundation, the path calls on us to cultivate genuine, heartfelt compassion for all beings. No exceptions. It's about seeing our shared condition, that deep down, we all want to be happy and we all want to avoid suffering, and then actively working for the well-being of others. And finally, the 8th practice is 勤修供养, diligently making offerings. Now, this is fundamentally an act of generosity and gratitude. An offering could be a simple flower, a candle, or it could be an act of service. The point is, it's about expressing respect and reinforcing your commitment to the path.
which keeps your connection to the three jewels alive, vibrant, and strong.
So we've just walked through the 8 steps that make up the action of taking refuge. But why do it? What's the payoff? The Yogacara Bhumi Shastra is actually very specific about the amazing benefits, the merits and virtues that come from this kind of dedicated practice. The scripture lays out a total of 8 huge rewards for those who really engage with this path. And these aren't just, abstract, fuzzy ideas. They're described as tangible, real transformations in your life and in your mind. This is the fruit of your labor, so to speak. The first 4 merits are all about transforming your inner world. You attain vast merit, which you can think of as accumulating this huge reserve of positive potential. You attain great joy, and we're not talking about fleeting pleasure, but a deep, stable happiness that comes from living a truly meaningful life. You attain deep concentration, or samadhi, a focused, steady, unshakable mind, and you attain great purity, which is a mind that's been cleared of all the harmful clutter. And the next 4 virtues are just as powerful. You receive perfect, great protection, the sense of being safe, both inside and out. Obstacles that come from confusion and wrong ideas, they get weaker or are eliminated completely. You naturally enter the assembly of the wise. You find your people, your community. And this last one is pretty fascinating. The text says you'll be joyfully remembered by celestial beings, which suggests that your positive actions literally ripple out into the cosmos. So when it all comes down to it, true refuge isn't some passive identity you take on. It is a complete, active path of self-cultivation. As we've seen, it transforms what could be a single vow into a full-blown roadmap for development, one with very clear actions and really profound, tangible results. And that brings us to the end of our explainer for today. Looking at these 8 steps, it's pretty clear they're just as relevant now as they were centuries ago. They offer this incredibly practical guide for anyone who's looking for a more meaningful life. So the final question is really for you. As you think about your own path, which one of these ancient steps feels like the right place for you to begin?